Well, in the midst of all the controversy over Aadhaar and whether it is compromising data security, whether it is compromising our personal details, whether in fact it is a national security threat, the Aadhaar authorities announced that there would be a new virtual ID system that would be put into place, which would essentially safeguard our personal data from being leaked. Joining us on Left, Right and Centre tonight is the head of the Aadhaar authority in India. It's CEO Dr. Ajay Pandey. Thanks for joining us, Mr. Pandey. Tell us how exactly this virtual ID is going to work. How does this safeguard us?
Right. I mean, let me explain to you that we have given Aadhaar to 119 crore people. Now, every Aadhaar holder, if he goes to a bank, for example, and he wants to open a bank account, what does he do? I mean, he gives his Aadhaar number and he gives his fingerprint. And then this Aadhaar number and the fingerprint in an encrypted form is sent to UIDAI database, and we match, and then we send a KYC information, that is your Aadhaar card in electronic form, we send to the bank, and then your account gets opened. Now, some people had expressed concern that this Aadhaar number which they have to give to various agencies and then do authentication, maybe, at some later day, somebody may start linking that Aadhaar number with the various databases, and then some profiling could be done, and and thereby the privacy could be, privacy concerns were being raised. So, in order to address that, what we have done is that we are giving a facility to people that you can generate a pseudo Aadhaar number. I mean, it's like a camouflage Aadhaar number, where you go to our website and then you enter your own Aadhaar number. One OTP comes on your registered mobile number, which is there in the Aadhaar database, and then a 16-digit virtual ID number is sent to you. Now,
that means your own actual Aadhaar number is only with the Aadhaar authorities
and you
and yourself.
And then you can start using virtual ID number wherever you have to give your Aadhaar number and your fingerprint, right? And then this virtual ID you can change as many times. So let's say today you generate one virtual ID number, you go to a bank and open a bank account.
You generate another one accordingly. But then that is an admission by Aadhaar that there was a possibility and is a possibility of the data being compromised or people's biometrics being compromised. I mean, why would you do this if you weren't worried that this would happen?
No, actually, see, this is an extra layer of security, because security is something where one has to be sensitive and alive to the current challenges. Now, let's say about 20 years back, the people, their privacy concerns were quite different from the privacy concerns in 2018. And then the privacy concerns and the security concerns will be quite different 5 years hence, right? So therefore, we need to see that today, what is the privacy concerns, and then, what is the kind of measures that we have to take. So far as the virtual ID is concerned, in fact, this particular suggestion was discussed when in 2009-10 when we were designing the basic Aadhaar system, and that time it was felt that let us first give this Aadhaar number, let us see how it plays out, and then at an appropriate time this will be introduced. And so far as this virtual ID is concerned, we actually started working from the month of July 2016, almost 1.5 years back. So after 1.5 years of solid work, we have been able to get this virtual ID to the stage where
But how will the virtual ID work in places in this country, and there are large parts of this country that don't have mobile connectivity, that don't even have proper electricity? So in those areas, how do you generate a virtual ID?
No, it's like this, that in order to use your Aadhaar number, certain authentication will have to be done, and that authentication, certain connectivity is required. Let's say you go to a bank, and in the bank itself, now we are going to have Aadhaar enrollment centers in the banks and the post offices. So you go to any Aadhaar enrollment center, there the connectivity will be there, or in the banks or in the post office, and there if you can access Aadhaar website, you will be able to generate the
what if you can't?
number.
Because there are thousands of villages where you don't have internet connectivity.
Yeah, so let me clarify this. Let me clarify this, that this virtual ID is not compulsory. The people have the option of using either the virtual ID or the Aadhaar number. See, let us not think that after introduction of virtual ID, Aadhaar number will not be accepted. Virtual ID is an option. Even after I have generated my virtual ID, at some place if I want to use my Aadhaar number, I will use my Aadhaar number. So both will work.
Okay, but let me ask you what the petitioners in the Aadhaar case have said in the Supreme Court. They've said to us today that this virtual ID idea is unworkable, that they will oppose it tooth and nail, that your authority is trying to rectify a technical breach by its untested technology, and that they will oppose this in the Supreme Court.
I think, see, if the petitioners should be answered in the court is the correct forum. And I don't think that what the petitioners have said, and we should indulge in some kind of a debate with them through a media. So I think if the petitioners have raised certain issues, we will reply them in the court.
Mr. Pandey, how do you though address the genuine concerns that have been raised about data being leaked or biometric data being leaked? The fact that people are being denied pension because they're old people, they don't have fingerprints anymore, right? So how do they get an Aadhaar card? Their pensions are being denied. There are 8 starvation deaths that have been recorded in this country where people were denied ration because they didn't have an Aadhaar card, technical failure, whatever the reason. Are these not genuine concerns? How does one address those?
No, let me explain to you. Aadhaar has been given to 119 crore people. And so most of the people are having Aadhaar number. But still, there could be certain somewhere in some part of the country, somebody may not be having Aadhaar and yet to be enrolled for Aadhaar. Now, for those types of cases, the governments have issued instructions after instruction not to deny Aadhaar, not to deny the entitlement just because somebody doesn't have Aadhaar.
But it is happening.
But if you see, what I'm saying is, let me explain to you the position of law. Section 7 of Aadhaar Act clearly says that if somebody doesn't have Aadhaar, he has to be enrolled for Aadhaar until he gets Aadhaar number. Till he gets his Aadhaar number, the benefits and the entitlements shall have to be given. The word used is shall. Shall have to be given till Aadhaar number is assigned through alternate means of identification. So, in every case, wherever we find such cases happening, where if the allegations come that somebody has been denied, we advise the state government or whichever the agency to take corrective action and also punish the officer who has denied the benefits to the persons for the lack of Aadhaar.
What about the concerns that the Tribune story raised? Okay, now let me first talk about the content of that story. How would you address that, the way that the reporter was able to access that data so easily?
So first of all, let me, because see, in that particular case, there is a police investigation is going on, right? Their police investigation is going on because that was a case where the certain login privilege which was given to certain officials of the state governments, and that was for accessing certain very limited information, that is the information relating to what is available in the Aadhaar card. Let me give an example. Aadhaar number consists of 12 digits. The 12 digit can theoretically generate 1 lakh crore Aadhaar numbers. And how many Aadhaar we have given? Around 100 crores. So therefore, in this limited login access that we gave, it was not that somebody types Ajay Bhushan Pandey or Nidhi Rajdan and he or she will be able to get your Aadhaar number. That was not the case. That somebody types Nidhi Rajdan and he is able to get Aadhaar number, your Aadhaar number. In order to get your Aadhaar detail, somebody has to know your Aadhaar number first. And then when the Aadhaar number is entered, then one will be able to see your name, your address and your photograph, and that is the detail which is available in the voter ID card. So for example, you can go online.
So why was the FIR filed then?
FIR was filed because somebody stole this login and password. And login and password even for this limited information. So that shows that how serious we are about the security. That if a security breach is there, even if my no substantial data has been compromised, not sensitive data has been compromised, because there is a breach so far as the login and password is concerned. We take every such breach seriously, and we want that. See, the purpose of lodging FIR is that supposing if some state government officials' username passwords were leaked, now who is that officer?
But there's been a lot of backlash against the authority for that FIR, particularly the journalist and the newspaper. And the law minister said the other day that they're going to encourage everyone to work together. Are you going to withdraw that FIR against the Tribune and the reporter?
No. You see, again, I would like to clarify, and our minister also has clarified. The FIR clearly says that the known of accused and then the known and then the name of accused or name of suspect unknown. Right.
No, it says their name. I've seen the FIR.
Yes,
both of the Tribune and of the reporter.
Right. So what the FIR has a column. If you see, the column number 1 says that date and then the FIR number. Column number 2 says that what sections. Then the column number 3 says that the name of accused and then the name of suspect. Right. And there the word mentioned there is unknown. And then, in order to give the full information to the police, the entire story has to be given. And then the entire story, it has the names of the
FIR clearly
people.
says that it's against the reporter and the newspaper. Their name and unknown persons.
So
It's not only against unknown persons. So would you withdraw the FIR?
No. What I'm saying is that the FIR, when you say the name of suspect and accused, is important, and that is where it is unknown. So in the eyes of law, the FIR is against the unknown person.
Well, in the eyes of law, I don't know law. I'm not a lawyer, but the name of the reporter and the newspaper are mentioned. You did get a lot of backlash for that, for attacking the messenger. But thank you, Mr. Pandey, for addressing at least some issues today that people are raising, the concerns that they are raising about Aadhaar. But the debate clearly isn't over yet. There's a lot more to talk about on this.